What's up, guys? Welcome to a new day. I'm Stephanie Ryder, and this is the 365 Shares podcast. It is Sunday, January 7th, and this is the 7th episode of the 365 Shares podcast. Happy Sunday, everyone. I'm posting a little later than normal, so I'm going to try to do this in one take because I don't want to stay on too long. I had a good day, but a busy day. Got to sleep in with my cat, which was really, really nice. And then my partner came over to watch football for a while. And then I did some grocery shopping and made dinner for him and his mom and his aunt who's visiting, which was really, really nice. And I still have all my Christmas decorations up. I had actually put them up after I got home from my Christmas trip because I love having Christmas decorations up. And I just had been so overwhelmed before the trip that I just didn't feel like I had time or emotional energy to decorate and kind of experience that Christmas magic. So I put my decorations up after I got back. I missed out on a tree this year, which kind of bummed me out because I love having a tree. And then cutting it up when I'm done with it and taking it to a friend's house to have a bonfire, which is really fun. But I decorated for Christmas. I made a nice ham dinner with glazed carrots and green beans and potatoes dauphinoise, which is really good with Gruyere cheese. It's basically scalloped potatoes with Gruyere. Very yummy. And we had such a nice chill dinner. My partner brought his dog over, so she was really good and just kind of hung out under the table and waited for us to have pieces of ham fat to give her. And that was really nice. And it was just what I didn't get at my family of origin Christmas, which was calm and just people really engaged with each other and having conversations and just having a nice time without any expectations, without anyone's weird energy kind of ruining the mood, which is a mean thing to say, but that's how I felt. And it was great. It was just a redo of Christmas for me, and it's exactly what I wanted, and I'm super, super happy with it. And then we all watched football together, which was nice, which is also something that we didn't really do. There's always so much chaos at home, which is fine because when you have a lot of people, there's always going to be chaos, and that's fine. But it was nice to just have everyone sit and having little quiet side conversations, but also watching a game together and talking about the game. And I have some dog toys that my partner's dog always plays with when she's here, and she completely ripped them up, which was hilarious because that's what she does. So it was just really, really nice. And and after they left, I watched the end of the game. It's a Bills-Dolphins. So the Bills won their division title for the fourth year in a row. That was exciting for them after a rocky start to the season. It was a good game. The affirmation from the Strengthening My Recovery book today is on emotional sobriety. And I'm glad that I got this topic. I was sort of hoping I didn't have another heavy topic. Yesterday's was abusive relationships, and that's obviously a really heavy topic. But emotional sobriety has a real feeling of positivity to it, and it's something that I am constantly working on. And it's so easy to slip back into old habits, into codependency, into negativity, which is a big reason why I'm taking some time away from my family of origin, because I just found myself acting in a way that's not really how I want to act when I'm talking to certain members of my family of origin. I want to be positive. I want to be happy. I want to give people the benefit of the doubt. I don't want to try to make other people's problems my problems. I don't want to judge people for having their problems. And that's really, I don't want to begrudge people their happiness when it's someone that's doing something a different way than I would do it. And so today I just really felt emotionally sober. I felt calm. I felt happy to be in part of my partner's family. And they've said really nice things to me, especially this year that, they like having me in the family and that I'm good for my partner, which is always nice to hear. And he's good for me too. So the full reading, as always, can be found in the Strengthening My Recovery book, but the affirmation is, on this day, I will pause and remember that just as it took time to learn the rules of punctuation in school, so too can I achieve emotional sobriety with practice and focus. But the effort is definitely worth it. I'm Steph, and this is my share. Emotional sobriety. It's something that I have worked really hard to achieve the past few years. I think there have been a lot of times in my life where I have just been so reactive and I didn't feel in control of my actions or my reactions. And I hated that about myself. And that I would feel remorseful after I blew up or yelled at someone or did something that wasn't in accordance with my values. And so the focus of my therapy for the past few years really was on achieving emotional sobriety and feeling like I was in control of myself, feeling like I was acting in a way that was above reproach, feeling like I was always treating friends and partners and family members with respect and kindness, which is really hard to do. It doesn't sound like it should be, but I mean, for me, it's hard to do always. Not all the time. Sometimes it's really easy to be nice, but sometimes it's hard. And so I really worked hard on this, quote unquote, achieving emotional sobriety as if it's a video game that I can like get to the end of and beat the video game. And then I'm good. And for the most part, I've gotten to that level. As I mentioned in an earlier podcast, I think I overcorrected at certain points because then I almost veered too much into people-pleasing territory, and that has its own negative side effects. So I really want to be, I'm always revising my definition of emotional sobriety. And so I really want to be in a place where I'm living authentic to myself. I'm not kind of going along with other people's versions of the world if they don't align with my version of the world. Obviously, we have to compromise and we have to understand that people have different points of view. But if someone's like really committed to a codependent stance, I don't have to agree with them or say that I agree with them just because I don't want them to feel bad or think that I think that they need some kind of help. And I was joking with one of my friends today, and we talk about therapy a lot, but I was like, I think one of my vices was saying, yeah, totally, when people would tell me that they didn't need therapy or that they'd done all their work. And I told him, I want to just start saying instead, like, you do you, but LOL. And just something funny, like, where I'm not betraying myself. I don't have to be mean to them and be like, I'm going to correct you and tell you that you totally need therapy, because that's not really like a healthy way to deal with things. But I also don't want to betray myself by being like, yeah, totally, you have your shit together, when I really don't believe that, because then I'm lying and I'm also going along with a view of the world that I don't agree with. And it just feels unsafe to me. So that's where I am on emotional sobriety. It's still something I'm working toward, but I'm also giving myself grace to do things my way. I don't have to just do what I think emotional sobriety is or what someone who is emotionally sober would do or say. I can sit and reflect and make a choice, and I don't have to be super reactive in the moment, which is great. But again, I'm just gonna sort of be myself as well in a kind way and try to use humor. I had a boss who used to say, the most serious things are said in jest. And I think that that's very true. We use humor uh, in, for all the best reasons, to entertain each other, but also to like communicate things that are hard to say without making people feel too attacked. And it's kind of a way to say like, hey, like, you're in on this joke. We're both laughing together. And maybe the information isn't what you wanted to hear, but we're both in it. We're in on it. We're in it together. And it doesn't ruin the friendship. It doesn't stop the conversation. It doesn't cause a huge conflict. So emotional sobriety with a little bit of humor mixed in. And I think that's just sort of where I'm at with it. But I had a nice, restful day. I had a nice evening with my partner's family. And now I'm just going to wrap up, hit publish, and get ready for my work day tomorrow and hopefully get a good night's sleep. But thanks so much to anyone who's listening to this at any point now or in the future. I really appreciate you and hope that you had a great Sunday. Talk to you soon.